Dude, I am literally afraid that we are the last generation that has the ability to watch an hour-and-a-half long movie. I'm a middle school drama teacher, and I try to always, point out cultural references, even in the last few years that I think kids are going to get, and they don't get it. I'll be like,
Hey, Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Y'all, happy Saturday. We're back with another video. We got a good hour banger we're gonna get into. I ain't gonna talk too much. Enough with the chit chat. I'm chilling in my Beagle shirt. Let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Look happy. It's like, damn, we wasted our whole life thinking we're going to space and we're in Hollywood.
When do you think that began to change when you look at the data?
A lot goes to the 1980s. In the 1980s, the cigarette industry started consolidating the food industry. So by 1990, 50% of the US food supply was owned by Philip Morris or R.J. Reynolds. They used their balance sheet as smoking rates were going down to buy up all these food companies. And they actually did two things. They used their scientists to make food more addictive, ultra-processed food, and then they directly co-opted the USDA and the HHS nutrition guidelines to do the food pyramid to recommend essentially carbs at the base of the pyramid. So ultra-processed food consumption exploded. The Surgeon General came out in 1986 and said, gotta stop smoking because of cancer rates. Cigarette industry goes to food. Cancer rates have just exploded. Absolutely,
just not
skyrocketed. Not lung cancer, but every other cancer rates.
Cancer.
I think it's true. The cigarette companies would be much healthier if they go back to making cigarettes.
Like, that's got to be one of the biggest apple ciders, right? I mean, think about how many people have passed because of the lies we were told about the food pyramid, about the food industry, about the propaganda of, red meat is what causes heart attacks, when really it's the sugar, it's the carbs, right? Like, that's such a big, I'm always going to put these on my videos because I think that is just such one of the biggest conspiracies, one of the biggest, not even a conspiracy, it's facts, right? One of the biggest lies we've been told, because everything we eat is what goes on up here. So they get away with everything. That's got to do with it, because the cleaner you eat, the more awake you become, right? So they keep us dumbed down. There's a reason why every corner there's a fast food, multiple fast foods. Every grocery store aisle, there's foods that dumb us down. Every other corner, there's a liquor store that dumbs us down. It's all by design.
Hello, this is a video showing you that the Seattle ports are full and active. In the back right there, that was T18, and right there, that's T5, Terminal 5. And there's currently a boat right at T5 right now, and it's very full. Do not believe anything that anyone's telling you. This is Seattle, Washington.
Don't go in my room unless you got buns.
Oh, wait, you're Jewish? Wait.
This is beautiful in here, actually.
Wait. Hold on. We should say a prayer, no? Look at this. This is amazing.
Go ahead, bro.
No, but I'm saying, come on. Let's all get together.
Get on your knees, guys.
Well, I'm not gonna get on my knees, but
I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out of here.
This is wow.
I'm gonna get out of here.
This is shalom. Shout out to all the Jewish people in the chat.
Jimmy was sharing that video of Buzz Aldrin saying that there's like a monolith on the moon. I hadn't seen that before.
We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
Wouldn't you like to feed Buzz Aldrin some mushrooms and say, tell me what you know?
Dude, yeah.
Tell me what you really know.
Tell me this is not disgusting. I came to order pizza, but before getting the pizza, I said, let me use the washroom. The toilet is here. the supplies, the pizza boxes, the things that you put the sauce in and everything, the bags that you put your food in, the fucking paper. Why are there food supplies in the washroom where the fucking toilet is, where people take a doo-doo? This is actually disgusting, and Pizza Hut needs to do better.
I don't know what that thing is, but that's what they're doing at the Elko airport.
Guys, okay. This is gonna sound insane. I am off trail hiking, about a mile off the trail, just kind of meandering through the trees, and I almost walked right through these two trees, and I got a feeling, and I stopped dead in my tracks. Let me show you the two trees right here. Right here. All right, so I'm actually on the back side of this, I guess you would say, because let me show you where I'm at. Just the mountain kind of drops off right down here, and so I came from the road up there all the way down and have been meandering along the mountainside right here, and almost walked through these two trees right here. I don't know what I believe in when it comes to portals, but I can tell you that I'm not going to walk in between these two trees. What if I vanish out here and you guys never see me? And that was it. So, gonna walk around.
My big recommendation for people who are listening to this is stay out of the hospital at all costs, unless you absolutely have to. If you have a heart surgery, if you have an inpatient surgery, which means you have to stay overnight, you might have to go to the hospital. But if you're having knee surgery or shoulder surgery or anything like that that's outpatient, go to find an independent doc. Those independent docs have more time for you. They will be more willing to negotiate with you on price if you're paying them directly. What I found is that these independent doctors are actually better because you don't have a hospital system who's funneling patients to you. These independent docs have to be really great docs that get patients via word of mouth, and that means they have to treat their patients really, really well. If you can go and find an independent doc in your area, go and see them, because they'll have more time for you, and they're just generally better doctors.
Is hell an actual place, or is hell a realm that surrounds us?
Well, the world's looking more like hell, but I think hell is a place. Right now, it's souls that would be in hell. It's not physical bodies. But the spirit can experience more pain than the flesh. This is something a lot of people don't understand. So their torment is worse than what we would experience in this life. So too, on the flip side, heaven is so much better than this life that people can't imagine. So when people die and come back, they often don't want to come back. But the Lord's like, no, you got to go back. Because like it's just so amazing. I've had people tell me like there's smells we haven't smelled here, good smells. There's colors we haven't seen yet. There's flowers that seem to have their own like vitality and life that they move, and it's all in the glory of God.
There's a theory that Sinners, the whole story about the musician, the kid that was playing the music that attracted all of the demons and all of the vampires, he is based off Robert Johnson.
This gift can bring fame and fortune.
Will somebody take me in your eyes?
But it also can pierce the veil between life and death.
This was really interesting because we actually talked about this story before. Oh, remember I told you that story about Robert Johnson, the first guy to ever sell his soul?
You play the guitar.
Fell down on my knees.
Holy. I want to play guitar. I want you to make me the best blues man ever lived.
If that's what you want.
How do we shake on it?
He even dresses like him. Look
Let me
at this
see.
picture.
I can see that though. Like that's the main story about selling your soul. So why not use him?
There's a picture of Robert Johnson, and that's him right there.
Oh,
and his hat was always tilted like that.
Really?
Yeah, fam.
Who that? Shut the fuck up.
Next door.
Does anybody find it odd that all these corporations' symbolism is of Saturn?
What is it? What are you talking about?
How much of our drug supply is controlled by China?
We're so dependent on China that if they shut the door on sending medicines to us, our hospitals would shut down within a couple of months.
In the case of some drugs, like antibiotics, China has a total stranglehold.
We can't make penicillin anymore. The last penicillin plant in the United States closed in 2004.
They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
But it's true what you said, because when I went back to the door, I couldn't get out. The door automatically locked. Listen to me. The door automatically locked from the inside, right? So I'm in there, so I'm chilling, right? I'm getting hot. I forget what I had on, but I take my shirt off. Everybody got their shirt off because it's so hot, right? So at this time, Diddy is talking to Nelly. He got his arms around Nelly like this the whole time. Nelly got his other arm around him. I go in the other room, I open the door. I swear to God, my mama, I ain't lying. Nelly and her getting a hand job from Dick. No, after that happened, Nelly put out that song, It's Getting Hot in Here, so take off all your clothes. That's where that song came from.
What the heck?
I swear to God, my mama.
Here's something I calculated.
That's
I
crazy.
said, if I was in a 767 and we're about to crash into a building, if I was in the
Favorite
last
teacher.
row of the plane, how much time would elapse before the front row crumbled and it met me in the back row, given the speed of the plane going into the building?
500 miles an hour.
It's probably slower than that by then. I would say closer to 400. It's a known speed, and I don't know it because you can't turn at that high a speed and have to like turn around and aim.
I'd have to say it's about a second.
Less, a fraction of a second. So the question is, how long does it take a plane to go its own length when it's going at 400 miles an hour? That's the
tenth of
thing.
a second.
It's a fraction of a second. So it's like, that's it. You can't even process that. So I figured the deaths were pretty quick.
Wow, instantaneous.
Yeah, it's basically instantaneous.
Okay, I'm in Tokyo. You guys see anything weird? Do you see anything weird? I'll post it on the screen. I don't know. Well, I do know. Okay. This is very odd. You got this right here. You know, I look into symbols and whatnot. It looks like they even have it here too. Not sure. I'm gonna look what this means, what this is, this place. Stay tuned. Okay, I just looked it up. I found out what it is. It's an adult entertainment club. And get this. Look who's right in front of the place. It's right behind me. Police. Why is the police right in front of an adult entertainment club with the symbols? Not a coincidence. Just saying.
The con man gonna come. Hey man, how they say the devil show up with his best shit on, right? The devil don't show up looking bummy. The Lord will. Just to see what you gonna do. The Lord will do it just to see what you gonna do. The Lord will show up bummy like, oh man, I wish I had something to eat. You got 50 nuggets from Chick-fil-A. You done bought 50 nuggets. Now don't give him none. And see what happened on Judgment Day. It's gonna be that same homeless motherfucker eating nuggets behind the gate. You should have gave me some.
Cotton's one of the most toxic crops in the United States. It has more glyphosate sprayed on it than pretty much any other crop. And then they take that Roundup ready cotton you're getting ready to put in your vagina for decade after decade, and they bleach it with Clorox bleach. Clorox bleach and Roundup in your vagina. And you wonder why you have heavy periods and cramping and clotting and PCOS and endometriosis and just can't get out of the bed. So a menstrual cup, my patients swear by a menstrual cup. I never got to use it. I don't know. I think it takes a minute to get it right. But again, autoimmune disease in women is a toxic burden. And I tell women this.
You will die a slow, painful death just through getting blood work done consistently, constantly. That's what will happen if you're chronically sick. Just fact, just period. Every time I say something like that, people go, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The medical medium, whatever. You know what? Take this information because you're going to need it, because when you start getting sick because of some other problem, whatever that trigger was, whatever got you sick, whatever toxic heavy metals in the brain, pathogens like Epstein-Barr shingles that you don't know about, stealth viruses inside your body, whatever got you sick, it's going to get worse the more blood that gets taken. So you got to take control of your life. You got to be empowered, and you got to say, this is bullshit.
Gather around, slaves. I'm going to let y'all come in the front yard and have a barbecue. And we'll sit back and drink tea up under the shade, and we'll enjoy this entertainment. But when you're done, get y'all ass back there in them slave quarters and get up and go to work in the morning. And that's no different than a Super Bowl, the Major League. We stay up for that one day. We be excited, and motherfuckers get drunk and merry and festivities. And the next day, get your ass to work. And I know y'all watched that football the other day, so don't come in late. Don't come in hungover. No difference. But nigga, that distract us. Right. Oh.
I'm telling you guys, I saw it. I saw it that one day I was smoking. I saw it. I saw everything he's saying. I saw it. I saw it. I felt it. And it's probably why they keep Super Bowl Sunday on a Sunday, right? They got Thursday night football. During the playoffs, they got Friday. They got Saturday night football. Still keep that Super Bowl on Sunday. Get your ass back to work on Monday, right?
You said it, right? You said you get powers? You get powers when you do spiritual. Spirits, they call it spirits, the liquor, right? Yeah. You do it for rituals, wealth, money, or infinite power. You drink your spirits. You know what your vodka do. You know what your whiskey do. You know what your what is it? What's the other one that starts with a C? What's that? What's Hennessy again? Cognac, right? You know what all that shit do? You good. You gotta know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you see what I'm saying? Listen, you got me, right? Yeah, I got you. Go ahead. Oh. Nigga just walked through the door, don't know who I am. Listen, know who you are, and I want you to show who the fuck this motherfucker on God. Because ain't no way. How am I What's that tag? I'm reptilian. Oh, that's deep nice. What is reptilian? That's some bullshit. You know reptilian, reptoids, draconians. They all come from up there. You know what I'm saying? You know Serious B. Serious B. The planets.
You know the Sierra Mist story? Sierra Mist was the Pepsi version of Sprite. It was supposed to be the Sprite competitor. Nobody fucking drank it though. There's a TikTok person named Sierra Mist, and she made spicy content.
You see what I'm wearing, so I bet you know what time it is.
She got a letter from Pepsi that said, you, going by the name Sierra Mist, doing the content you're doing is going to harm our brand. People are going to think of you and not our drink. Sierra Mist had a trademark, but trademarks have to be renewed, and Pepsi allowed the Sierra Mist trademark to lapse. She went and she trademarked Sierra Mist out from under Pepsi, and then she had the ability to tell Pepsi, nuh-uh-uh, you need to stop selling Sierra Mist the drink because people are going to think of your drink instead of my spicy content. You know what doesn't exist anymore? Sierra Mist the drink.
After 24 years, Sierra Mist never really caught on, so why not?
Starry, that's a catchy name. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And that's because rather than pay her, Pepsi decided we'll just rebrand Sierra Mist. Nobody drinks it anyway, and we'll call it Starry.
What's the most
power of OnlyFans? You know what I mean? That's the power of the internet. They got a multi-billion-dollar brand to change its name, and now they sponsor the NBA. Because I remember during All-Star Weekend, it was all Starry. I didn't know that was Sierra Mist, but that's the power we have as people now. That I don't got my phone; it's in my pocket. That's the power that we have with these phones, y'all. We can make Pepsi. You know what? You need to change your name, because you're affecting my brand, right? We are starting to get the control with these phones, y'all. I'm telling you, whatever you do, whatever you enjoy doing on your free time, I don't know. What do you like? You like reading? There's podcasts on people breaking down books. You like knitting? There's people that like watching people knit on YouTube. You like whatever you like doing. I'm telling you guys, put a camera. That's how strong these phones are now. That's how much you can make. That's how much money she's making by making Pepsi, a Fortune 500 company, change its name. Just an average person, right? Telling you guys, get that camera in front of you. You never know.
Company in the world.
Washing
I think
dishes, anything.
If we're talking
Cleaning
about like
your
pure
house.
evil, then it's probably companies that still use like slavery or forced labor and stuff like that, like a lot in China. If we're talking about like pure evil, that's definitely it. In terms of like masterful manipulation, Nestle's definitely up there with how
I had to put that subscribe there if you guys see it. It says this evil corporation targeting little ones, right? YouTube's very sensitive when it comes to those type of terms, so I blocked it out, but that's what that says.
you know they make baby formula to replace mom's breast milk, but you know mother's breast milk is much more healthy and you know designed for babies. But theirs is like 40% seed oils or something like that. It's something ridiculous, but all these other terrible ingredients. Everyone should definitely look up like the ingredient label of baby formula. It's absolutely atrocious. But the way they got the public to accept baby formula
I don't got no kids.
is, you know, humans, we naturally look up to influencers. Not just like the creator type influencers that we think of today, but doctors, professionals in a lab coat. So they got doctors to recommend baby formula in really poor countries like the Philippines or whatever. So and they would have people dress up as nurses, hand out baby formula samples, and they would hand out just enough baby formula to where once they got through that baby formula packet, feeding their kid with it, the mothers would naturally stop producing breast milk. So then they would have to keep buying more baby formula. And that's how they got these mothers hooked on baby formula when it's like literally, it should be like literally a crime to feed your baby this stuff.
Yeah. Is this like Gerber? Or like, what's like the brand under
I can't
it?
remember.
You know?
It might be Gerber.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure though.
I know Nestle owns like Nestle Crunch Bars,
Yeah.
Gerber, Baby, and then like Nesquik.
It
But
might-
this is like specific to like baby formula. Were they the
Yeah.
first company that did baby formula?
I'm not sure if they're the first, but they definitely popularized it.
Congresswoman Omar,
Now I want to see this guy when he does have a kid one day. If he does, I mean, with blue hair, I don't know. I don't know if he swings that way. I don't know, right? But a lot goes into that, y'all. You know, I learned it having my baby. A lot goes into the breastfeeding, and you know, a lot of factors go into it, right? Of course, it's healthier. It's always healthier when it's natural and comes from. But sometimes you have to do half formula, half breast milk, right? I see a lot of that. So a lot goes into that, y'all. A lot of healthy babies came from formula, right? Not saying it's a touchy subject with people, but I'll be quiet. I could go on. I can go in on that.
Foundation, do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Rodrigo Garcia?
I think you should fuck off.
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman?
Fuck off.
Who should?
You.
Why me?
I'm not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
If North
I heard something yesterday on somebody that was live on YouTube. I'm gonna butcher it, but I think it was Ronald Reagan. They said there was a little girl, you know, asking how can I help out this poor person, you know, for free, right? So he said to her, you guys are probably gonna know what I'm talking about. I'm probably butchering it. I heard it in the background, right? He said, you know, you can go cut somebody's yard for $50 and then give it to that homeless person. The little girl said, well, why doesn't he go cut that yard for $50? And then he said, welcome to the Republican Party. We don't give freebies over here, right? You got to go earn it, work for it. But the Democrat side, this is what I've heard, right? You know, they give a lot of freebies. You go cut your grass and then give it to this guy for free, right? Tax dollars and whatnot, right? But look how their representatives act. How about you go F off?
Launches one missile at us, we're going to launch 82 in response. There's a policy in the United States called launch on warning. The president must make a counterattack decision before those nukes land. A strike with a 1 megaton thermonuclear weapon against Washington, D.C., it kills 2 million people, Sean. 82 nuclear weapons could possibly obliterate their nuclear command and control.
Do you have any idea how many nuclear weapons we have?
On ready for launch status, meaning they can be launched in seconds or minutes from the president's order. We have 1,770.
people who can astrally project refuse to talk about the crucifixion, it's because you literally can't astrally project to it. People who have tried, there's some spiritual energy that just blocks them from being able to witness it at all. And so people who have astrally projected themselves back there, they don't even want to be involved. This is a known thing in the psychic community. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just thought it was interesting that there's conspiracy theories about the crucifixion, which I had never heard of before.
Well, I'm super interested in that. That is my next fixation.
That's what happened to Adrian Foster. Adrian Foster was working his ass off because, you know, you go to the University of Tennessee, good old Rocky Top, you understand hard work because they ain't going to give you the ball unless you outworking the guy that's next to you or in front of you or behind you. So then he got to the point where now he thought he made it. And now I'm finna go vegan. I'm finna do this. What? Yeah, it was rigged. And you saw that you were going to come off that 16 season.
That sounds rigged up.
And you
was that Coinky
the
Day.
numbers, the numbers don't lie to you.
Yeah.
The numbers let you know if you're in the right spot.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
He was in the right spot, but now it was time for him to go back because now I told him, like I told him then, I said, son, you know you get circled now. Last time I checked, ain't no good quarterback in Houston. And you the running back? Oh, no. Everybody coming in the big, we finna shut you down and we're gonna dump it on his raggedy ass and we'll see what goes at the end of the game.
We'll come back on you again.
And he wasn't ready for that.
Right.
He wasn't ready for that challenge.
Right.
It was rigged.
Dude, I am literally afraid that we are the last generation that has the ability to watch an hour-and-a-half long movie. I'm a middle school drama teacher, and I try to always, you know, point out cultural references, even in the last few years that I think kids are going to get, and they don't get it. I'll be like, you know, haven't you seen that show on Netflix or whatever? And they'll be like, we don't watch that kind of stuff, mister. I'm like, what do you guys watch? It's like, mostly just stuff like, have you ever seen the live streamer Bushboy69? No, I haven't, but I'm sure his content is riveting. Every day they bring up a new social media star that I've never even heard of. It's like, did you see that Cadence Lawrence got his tonsils taken out on his live stream? No, I didn't. And I'm flattered that you don't think I'm in my 30s, but yeah, I don't watch that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm terrified that we're going to be the last generation to watch movies. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Steel. What word? Steel. Yes, steel. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kick. Yes, kick. And 60 on page 153.
Is that real? They really say that?
Are they multiple species? Are they, what was their size and how many are usually on a crab?
They're typically the multiple species people are familiar with, the greys, the Nordics. People are talking about reptilians and insectoids. It's not that they're reptilian or insectoid, it's that they resemble to the recipient of reptile and insect type human, because they have this head and limbs and torso.
Large? Small?
Human size, human scale.
How do you recruit?
Well, the brains I'm familiar with from investigating the crashes.
Guys, why do you think the government invests so much money into this type of stuff? Because it is real. Remote viewing is real. I'm not sure if the right word for these beings is aliens, but they are certainly real, and we've known that for years. The guy talking was quite high up in their world, so why would he whistleblow and ruin everything he's ever worked for?
Where's that laser going?
Buy one of those lasers.
Up to space.
Shine it over that mountain again.
Was it leaving?
Oh.
Russia was so paranoid that the United States was going to launch a preemptive nuclear attack against it. They created a system whereby ground sensors would be able to determine nuclear bombs hitting the Russian soil. And if they weren't hearing from the nuclear command and control, so the idea being that the nuclear command and control had been taken out in this preemptive nuclear strike, the dead hand system would launch all of Russia's remaining nuclear weapons without even needing a hand to push the button, hence the name the dead hand. It set up a system to launch no matter what, even if we're all dead. Like, don't you dare launch at us, or even our own dead hand will get you.
Pelosi owns a hotel up in Napa, and she has had this one property that has made $100,000, lost $100,000, and you all have to file this every year. And in it, you have your income. Made $100K, lost $100K, made $100K, lost $100K. The year that COVID happened, they made $5 million plus in profit. So how do you go from, and this is income. This isn't necessarily even just like it's not necessarily loans or anything. This is income. Your business now makes $5 million. Year after that, you go back down to making $100K. Was the corruption around these PPP loans, these, COVID loans, did this get up to the degree that the politicians were benefiting from this too?
重欣赏就是。嘿，乖，你看哪头会上班？我在想，我在看过。小时候看。怪得很是，这头也不得上，这日头。
Who the are you? I'm from 2025. What year is it? 1990. You look tired. You want some coffee? Yes, thank you. Do you have any almond milk? I'd love some almond milk in there. Almond milk. Almonds don't got no. No, don't worry about it. Dude, beautiful house, by the way. What is this, like 3,000 square feet? No, it's actually 3,500. It wasn't cheap either. I don't doubt that. What, like 700? 150,000. So. Oh, shit, are you hungry from traveling? I got some fried chicken if you want some fried chicken. I'm starving. Wait, what type of oil do you use? Vegetable oil? What else would I use? Sorry, man, I'm out. I don't do seed oils. It comes from a vegetable. It's healthy. What do you? I don't follow. I just would. I don't know if you got to get back or not, but I just got this new movie. It's called Goodfellas. I hadn't seen it yet. If you want to rip it. Yes, dude. Yeah, dude. Just skip this bad boy up from Blockbuster. Oh shit. Y'all still go to Blockbuster to get movies, don't you? No, dude. We have access to like 5,000 movies for like $10 a month. Where in do you stash 5,000 movies? Oh, it's all in the cloud. So. How do you get them up there?
Oh, Anderson Cooper gets a salary of something like $20 million a year, but probably 75% of that is coming indirectly through pharmaceutical companies. So that's who his boss is, and that's why he's reporting to, and that's why during COVID you saw, all of these news channels completely on board, shaming people who didn't go along with the government orthodoxies and drumming up fear about COVID, printing the deaths on the chyrons every day and the number of cases, et cetera. And there was, and fortifying an orthodoxy that just so happens to create huge profits for their advertisers. And the food companies are the other big advertisers. So the cereal brands, et cetera. So they have tremendous power over the media. And that's one of the reasons I think that I get such blowback.
People in the music industry really don't like Clive Davis. His criminality is kind of amazing. He got busted filing false tax returns 3 times, and then defrauding the IRS 3 times. Record companies give money to radio stations to play their songs. He was part of the biggest payola scandal of all time as president of ABC Records. And then there was a Genovese crime guy named Pasquale Falcone, and he got busted smuggling 22 pounds of heroin into the United States. And the Justice Department started digging into him, and they came across all these shell companies that he headed, and Clive Davis was funneling money from ABC Records to these shell companies. So I've just told you about 2 decades worth of criminality, and that guy has not spent one night in jail.
Robert the doll. If you take pictures of this doll, it literally says it gives you cancer. And then I got cancer that month.
So what happened in terms of your cancer diagnosis?
I got diagnosed with testicular cancer. What's really scary is people from 20 to like 35 tend to get this, but it really wasn't that bad. Every dude has nutted before, like where you just kind of feel like you have like a bruised ball for a second, but it goes away in a couple days. My bruise didn't go away. The thing that I am telling guys, like, that gives them peace of mind, though, is that I could tell something was wrong. It started changing in, like, appearance and size to TMI.
Yeah.
And then, like, whenever I would, like, work out really hard, or if I'd have sex or masturbate or whatever, it would, like, swell up.
Wow.
And so I knew something was wrong.
Survival rate, isn't testicular cancer like 97,
97%, yeah. The only reason people die from it is if it metastasizes and, like, goes, like, everywhere in the body.
Drewski been taking booty. Listen, you ain't look on the internet. You gonna see Drewski got put on by two people. One was P Diddy. The other is that white boy that just did that deal. He just did that deal with not Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon they been f***ing kids. The other one, what's that boy name? He give away all that money. Mr. Beats. Mr. Beats. Yeah, and Mr. Beats. You know he put Kaya on. He hit Kaya in the booty. This Illuminati Secrets game. Yeah, Kaya. You know Kaya. No, not Kaya. The dude do the live. What's his name? Kaya Central. Castanet, what's his name? Yeah, he got.
Oh, what's going on in today's video? We got some, not suitable for work content today. I apologize, y'all. Like I said, I don't watch these clips in full. I just watch like the first 10 seconds and I sit here and watch them with you guys. And if it's something that's some complete nonsense or something, I'll edit it out. But saying some crazy things in today's videos, y'all. I'm sorry.
In the booty too. So what I'm trying to say is, all of them get hit in the booty.
BH, what were you saying about Odell Beckham?
Change the subject.
And I want to thank Congresswoman Marsha Fudge for hosting us.
Little frog.
Whoa.
Do you as law enforcement get notified, oh, by the way, when people steal now, don't arrest them?
Well, no, we can always arrest them. We can always take them to jail. But in California, they've made everything a misdemeanor. And by making everything a misdemeanor and forcing all state prisoners into county jails, we don't have any place to house misdemeanors. So a dirty little secret in California is you don't go to jail for a misdemeanor. So all these misdemeanor crimes is just really a slap on the wrist and a free pass to just keep doing what you're doing.
Is that what it's like right this second?
Yes.
So if I drove down to California and walked into a store and snatched something and walked out broad as daylight,
you'd get
nothing
a ticket.
happens.
You'd get a ticket, if anything. So the problem with California is it's gotten so bad, it's just a cost of doing business for the stores. They don't even report it anymore. Because,
don't they just move?
Well, that's what's happening. The businesses are closing, box stores are closing. I mean, all the Walgreens and everything else, those are all closing because of the rampant theft.
It's so baffling that people still vote for who's in office in that state. The Gavin Newsoms, the Kamalas to come take over. And they just keep voting them in. Places are leaving and they wonder why. Homeless is everywhere. Drugs are everywhere. They wonder why. People are buying new mansions.
Reach the age of 65, you fall, and that fall results in the break of a femur or hip. There's a 15 to 30% chance you'll be dead within a year.
What kills me?
It could be something very acute. The fall that's significant enough to do that also bangs your head. It could be that you get a fat embolism, you get a blood clot. It could be that during the recovery process of this, you just never really get better. You never thrive again. I think a more disturbing statistic is that of all the people who survive, 50% will never again regain the level of function they had before the injury. Wow. So they will require a cane for the rest of their life or something like that.
The dude that be hanging out on top of the mountains.
Do you know how some of those food dyes are made? Like
dead insects, right?
Yes, dead parasitic insects crushed up. There is no reason that we are eating dead parasitic insects. Like, I don't care what you claim you're doing to sterilize them. That is insane. And the chemicals that are going into these colors, I would rather have everything I eat be the color gray than be sitting here eating disinfectant like we have been. I think I'm 9 months sober of crumble cookies now after learning that they're basically made with disinfectant and Windex.
Yep.
Like, it's unbelievable what they're putting into these foods.
I'm not sure why people don't understand this. So the Blue Origin trip, they did not go to space, okay? They went to the same area of space that a guy in 2012 with a Red Bull suit went to, somebody named Baumgartner or something, and he skydived, okay? So they didn't actually leave Earth. They didn't get to the part to where they had to re-enter space or re-enter the Earth and go through that heat that you see happens when like the space, shuttle comes in. They didn't go that high. So really all they did was just go a little bit higher than a plane. I mean, a lot higher than a plane. But again, they didn't leave Earth. They didn't really go into outer space. So this idea that they were like up in space and like it was such an amazing thing. No, it never happened. They never got that high. So, and Blue Origin isn't meant to like go do a loop around the Earth. It's literally just meant to go higher than an airplane. That's it. That's all it's designed to do. So when everyone's like, wow, why don't they have these kind of suits on and all this? It's because they didn't get that high. They didn't get to the place to where they would need all the oxygen and the suits and all that because they literally did not really go to space.
Okay, this is pretty massive. A new study shows that Antarctica, the giant frozen continent that's been melting for years, has just seen record-breaking growth in ice sheets for the first time in decades. So according to this brand new study out of China's leading climate research university, from 2021 to 2023, the Antarctic ice sheet experienced a record-breaking increase in overall mass. And data NASA published in March confirms this finding as well. And that's pretty significant because as you can see, it's been losing approximately 150 gigatons per year for decades. And it's not just that, because data from the NSIDC covering the period from March 2024 to February 2025 indicates that the surface mass balance from the Antarctic ice sheet was nearly 200 billion tons above the 1981 to 2010 average. However, caveat to all of this good news, as of right now, climate scientists believe that this is a short-term anomaly, not a reversal in trend, and West Antarctica continues to experience significant losses. But the question is, what do you think?
Blue don't have Beyonce nothing. She's just light-skinned. I always thought it was kind of weird how she did resemble Jay-Z to a certain extent.
No.
But no, that girl is starting to look like Kathy to me. The eyes, the cheekbones, the jawline, the
It's like
sveltness
Beyonce,
of
y'all.
her thin figure, her shoulders.
A little Jay-Z. I
Like
see it.
when
You guys
she
see it?
wore that dress with the Grammys, when he set Killer Mike up to be inconvenienced for winning. That white thing that she wore with those boots. The way she walked up. The way she sashayed, and it was off the shoulder, like Kathy used to wear off. May God have mercy on their souls if they took that woman's child. May God have mercy on their souls if they done that. And for her, and it's my bloodline.
It's that bloodline.
On the front line.
I was thinking about this. We are the richest country on the planet, one of the richest countries. Why does it look like ass? Like, really think about that for a second. Like, when you're driving, if you're not in, like, Florida or California or the coast of, like, Oregon or whatever, it's like, this place looks like shit. And we have so much money. Like, I'm thinking of, like, Europe and Japan and all the architecture, like, across the world and how beautiful it looks. Why don't we have, like, rose gold fucking buildings and, like, why does the Kmart's and, like, all of the stores look like shit? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking, in my head, I'm closing my eyes and I can imagine like what a country, like look at China, like Shanghai, like the coast, like all those videos you see, that's like no joke, stunning, beautiful, high tech. You would think America would look like that with the amount of money that we have, but it just looks like, ugh, you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. I said that on a video earlier. Like, our public transportation should be top notch. We shouldn't need a car. We should be okay sending our woman or sending our kid on public transportation to work or whatnot, right? We shouldn't need 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles. Like, we should be okay with that, but we can't. Public transportation is terrible, right? I don't have Subway, but you see the subway system in New York, or it's terrible, right? How expensive is it to live in New York? Who's getting this money? Our streets, our freeways, so dirty with trash. Having inmates clean them up, paying them 5 cents a day. Who's getting this money, y'all? Where is it going? Because we pay a lot. We pay tax on everything. We pay taxes on taxes on taxes. We buy something, we sell it, we pay a tax. Twice. So where's this tax money going to? Funding wars to make more money for whoever? Not us. It's frustrating, y'all. Is it ever going to change? Are we ever going to come together and wake up? Or are we just always going to stay divided? Trump versus Biden, red versus blue. If you say something bad about Trump, I'm unfollowing you. If you say something bad about Biden, I'm unfollowing you. Right? You can't be in the middle no more. You can't speak the truth. You have to be one-sided. So much division, y'all. And that's why they get away with pocketing all this money while we sit here and bullshit over things that don't even matter. Right?
Famous astronaut who went to space. Both times he came back, he said he saw snakes in space.
Really?
And he was discredited and like eventually discharged for being a loon. But he's like, no, I'm telling you, out there in orbit, there are these snake-like things that float around that are alive, that float around.
Dude,
they're alive? That's what he said, yeah.
But like these astronauts are not just people they pulled off the street, right? These
No.
are usually like PhDs, professors, people who have been highly educated, have to go through like rigorous types
Training.
of like mental testing,
Definitely.
physical training,
everything.
And then they come out and say things like this, and people are like, "Nah, they're just crazy."
It's harder to get into the military than it is to get into college. Regular military.
Really?
Yes. It is not easy. You can't go to the military if you smoke. You can't go to the military if you have bad eyes, if you're diabetic, if you have asthma, if your IQ is X number, depending on your job. If you can't run a mile or 2 miles in this speed and do this number of push-ups and this many sit-ups. You can go to college if you have all those things.
You have a Nike plant in China, right? And you have the machines that make the real Nike shoes. Well, every few years, new technology comes out, so they have to get rid of the machines. So they sell the machines.
It's not even that. It goes deeper than that.
Goes deeper than that.
So say Louis Vuitton or Nike or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's say from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., you're pumping out sneakers, okay? Then you got the factory manager. You got a dude saying, hey, man, here's $100,000. You don't make this in a year.
Yeah.
All right. Turn the machines on. We're going to run those machines from 7 p.m. until 3 a.m. now.
Yeah.
Surgeons make a lot of money doing surgery. You don't have good payments for therapy. You don't have good payments for exercise, nutrition. It's not included in the common system. But if we want healthier people, we need to be focusing on that. But it has to be reimbursed, and that's not part of the current system. It's really just about sick care.
Israel announced the state of Israel is the single greatest guarantor. Israel serves as an example over the course of the last year for the rest of Western civilization.
Yeah. Wait a minute. It's crazy. So wait, is the Daily Wire an American media platform or is it an Israeli media platform? If the rule is, I'm just saying, if the rule is you cannot be critical, because he has no problem being very critical of America.
Yep.
He's critical of the left in America. Left is half the country. You have no problem eviscerating half of the country. But you can't criticize Israel as a country. That's just another country unless you're saying, and you're clearly admitting, that the Daily Wire is an arm of the Israeli propaganda machine. Is that? Oof. Are you manipulating the religious right in America so that you can take all their money and then in the process restricting free speech, one of the core tenets of the American identity? Ben.
Oof, Benjamin.
What is happening? There's trouble in paradise. What shall we do?
Now, a lot of people like that dude. I've never seen a full episode of his. I never liked his vibe. I think he's a little rat. I think he doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about him. Y'all, I pick up on these vibes. I pick up on energies. And there is something about this dude that he just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like him, right? I guess I was right. A lot of people bowed down to this dude and worshiped every word he said. I never was a fan of him.
Graduated high school. My grandparents gave me $10,000. And I took that $10,000 and I watched like 4 YouTube videos on Bitcoin. It's like, I got this shit figured out. I take that $10,000, I turned it into $900,000 and was like, I'm the fucking man.
Way.
I'm going to drop out. So I dropped out, thought it was the coolest motherfucker on the planet. 6 months later, I had $0 and I owed the IRS like $250,000 for taxes.
So we're here at the mall and check out this line. Not yet. Not yet. Oh my hell, what is a Pop-Tart? Or what's a Pop Mart? I mean, it goes all the way to the food court. What is a Pop Mart? I don't get it.
Gary Stolman suddenly appeared on the set of KNBC's evening newscast just as consumer reporter David Horowitz was being introduced.
Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right. He's got a gun to his back. All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
KNBC then cut away from its newscast.
You know, it was like the Twilight Zone. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't realize, I said to myself, this is not really happening to me.
Stolman's statement was a bizarre tale of space creatures and the CIA. Minutes after he handed it to Horowitz, the police arrived, and Stolman put the pistol down and was led away.
I couldn't imagine whoever else the director of national intelligence was going to be being better than Tulsi Gabbard. I couldn't imagine whoever the head of the FBI being better than Kash Patel, or whoever the health secretary being better than Bobby Kennedy. But at the same time, you know, you got Tulsi, cheering on leveling an apartment building. Literally, as they're saying to him, hey, we traced Missile Guy back to his apartment building where his girlfriend lives. So we leveled the building, and she's sending like thumbs up emojis, and saying, job well done, team. Every time I hear from Kash Patel lately, it's never about the criminals in government anymore. This guy was on a goddamn media tour for 2 years. Everything he ever said was that there's all these criminals in the FBI. We got to get these people who committed all these heinous crimes against our republic. Not talking about that anymore today. Now he's talking about bringing down drug dealers and sex traffickers. It's like, okay, but that's not what you were saying before. And Bobby Kennedy is out fighting the real health crisis, which is anti-Semitism. So I'm just saying, looking around the room, looking around the administration at this point, you know, I think we got the positives out of Donald Trump that we would get. But man, this all just points in such a bad direction. And it's disappointing. It's just really disappointing. I knew I would be disappointed, but it is on the level of a Greek tragedy that these guys had this mandate and this opportunity, and they're just it all up.
ما في حاجة تجمعنا أبدا إلا القاعة هذه. ليش ما يكون فيها تحقيق في مقتل صدام حسين؟ قيادة عربية بالكامل تقتل تشنق في المشانق ونحن نتفرج، لماذا؟ ممكن الدور جاي عليكم كلكم. اي نعم.
He was.
ليش أمريكا قاتلت مع صدام حسين ضد الخميني؟ كان صديقها.
Especially like here in the U.S., everything that you
buy is never really gonna be yours because it can be taken away from you. I mean, if you're somebody that you're driving a car, say you bought a Lamborghini and you get in a car accident and the car's under your name, you're cooked. They could sue you personally. They could sue you for everything that you have, especially if the damage is serious. Everything can be taken away from you at an instant. So it's never to lose that gratitude. And it's to also learn that materialism isn't everything.
So the question is, where's all this money going? And one of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are a record of, some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So,
in the United States?
In the United States, on all over the world. But from 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Solari Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. And then we systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess. This is totally a guess of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them.
And what would be the purpose?
The purpose, if you thought you were going to get a near extinction event, so there, to me, there are two purposes. You have so many activities going on that you need to keep secret that you're basically building the capacity to, for example, if you're doing a secret space program, you need to platform it from, things that can't be seen. But I think if you're worried about a near extinction event, that's.
So I know nothing about this other than my only window into it. I knew a contractor who worked on one in Washington, in the city of Washington, D.C. Right. And I remember him telling me about a power box, like a transformer box on Constitution Avenue that he told me, because he worked on it personally, was actually the exit, the egress from White House. That was kind of by vehicle. I thought that was, I was like, really? He goes, oh, yeah, no, I installed it. I know. And I thought, well, that's kind of crazy that in the middle of this big city where I lived I was on Constitution Avenue every day, that you could build something like that without me knowing it. Under the VP's house at the Naval Observatory, same thing. I think most people know that. Next to my brother's house on Macomb Street in D.C. But that's, I always thought that was like preparation for nuclear war. Like, I didn't really think about it that much.
Some of it is, it's preparation for catastrophe.
So, but you think that there are facilities like that in other places outside D.C.?
Oh, yeah. So if you're interested, we have a great interview. I did an interview of Richard Dolan on underground bases on the Solari Report, and it's sort of an introduction to the topic, and it's based on a lot of the research of a guy named Richard Sauter, who is very hard to interview. So Richard kind of went through all the material, and clearly it's, I don't know if you ever saw, Washington Post did a project, it was in 2010 or 12, called Top Secret America. And one of the reporters, it was a team of 2 reporters, one of them put together a database of all the different top secret installations that had been built in the country, including since the Patriot Act. And what you saw was just this explosion of money in building so many both underground and above ground facilities.
I know y'all can't see me. Check it out. See how far them go back? See how high they go up? You see this yard? Now this is just one yard. You see how big them containers are? You see where they are? Look at all these containers. Look how they go up. You see that? Do you see that? Now they go all the way back. This is private property. So I ain't trying to get no trouble. But do you see all these containers? Do you see them? Now that goes back. Now look at the containers. See how high they go? Look how far they go back. You see? Yeah, these don't go back. These stay here. It costs too much to send them back. So why would they send empty containers to America? And it costs them close to $60 million. You see these containers?
NASA has just confirmed that China's Three Gorges Dam is so massive that it is slowing the Earth's rotation. Located in the Hubei province, it's the world's largest hydroelectric power station, and it holds a staggering 10 billion cubic meters of water. That's about 10 trillion gallons. But now, according to NASA scientists, it has redistributed Earth's mass enough to the point where it is slowing the Earth's rotation by 0.06 microseconds per day. And we can't have plastic straws. Think of it like when you're spinning on your chair and you put your legs out. You slow down because your mass is moved away from the center. And that is what China's Three Gorges Dam is doing to the Earth. So what's the tariff for slowing Earth's rotation?
Without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce my husband, the Prime Minister who will make Canada strong.
We have accepted by being, well, yeah, that's an issue.
I mean, to me, I feel like it's due to an attack on masculinity. It's an increase in feminism. It is, an attack on religion. I mean, it's just like all these things. And I look at like, who's responsible for that? And that's where I start to get angry, and it seems like the same playbook is going on in the UK, and you see a lot of these different places that are run by a lot of the same people having the exact same fucking problem.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Busy day today, y'all. Busy Saturday. Mama Bear goes back to work on Monday. I'm a little nervous because the baby's all mine throughout the day. So we're going to hit a little at home, do a little home upgrades, buy some pictures, some paintings, some things like that. Her brother is coming to in here. I don't know if you guys remember, I said my surge drops a lot. My electric out there, it trips, right? The circuit trips. And so he's going to boost a little bit, and my AC units, not the actual units, but the furnaces have been tripping a lot. So he's going to upgrade those and put one of those furnaces, which is 20, on this room, which is 15. So that should give me enough power over here. So that's getting done. AT&T guy is coming today because my internet around 4 o'clock crashes every day lately for like the past week. About 4 o'clock, it crashes for like 20 minutes and then it comes back on. So they're going to come check that out at home. That's the plan today, y'all. Plus, I'm going to clean my barbecue grill right now. I'm going to wash Mama Bear's car because she's going back to work. So she has a nice clean car for work. Probably go fill up her gas tank. That's the plan today, y'all. Busy Saturday. But you know what busy means, right? It means a good day, right? Not just sitting on the couch all day. I'm getting out there, getting things done, getting my steps in. Probably work out in the garage, get a little workout in. Segovia's got to get back to his P's and Q's, y'all. Because Segovia used to be ripped back in the day, not too long ago, y'all. But since I moved out here, I let myself go. So I'm trying to find my rhythm back and try to get back to being on here wearing muscle shirts, y'all, like I used to. So that's the plan today, y'all. Let me know what you guys got going on for your Saturday plans down below. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.